Look, man, if you're tired of waiting for your opportunity on Scout Team, I'm going to show you how to earn that starting spot today. Because truth is, coaches do not promote potential, they promote trust. As a former player and a young coach, I know that better than anybody. I remember my sophomore year getting absolutely destroyed every single practice, going full speed, giving full effort. Didn't matter. As soon as I made a mistake, the coaches would let me hear it. As soon as I did a good job, it was crickets. And I mean just silence. They would always be like, man, your opportunity's coming, kid. Stay ready. I just learned that was coach code for keep a hoodie ready. You ain't getting in. But for real, man, once you learn that starters control the outcomes while scout team, just run the plays, you start to think and feel the game compared to, just running the game. So for real, I'm going to show you how to steal that starting spot so you could, become the star of the team.
Oh, he's stealing! Oh! Hey, duck.
To be so cutthroat, hard work alone is not enough. And that's where a lot of players get frustrated. Honestly, I get it. You lift, you condition, you're at workouts all off season. You're early to practice, and you're still not starting. And you're in your head thinking, bro, I'm literally doing everything. What else do I need to do? Look, at the high school level, hard work, it's honestly the baseline. Coaches assume effort, and effort doesn't separate you anymore. If effort was enough, damn near the entire team would be starting. What separates the players is how they work and how they think. When two players are physically the same, well, close, but the same speed, same strength, same size, the coach isn't guessing. They're choosing the player who understands what's actually happening. Awareness beats effort when effort is equal. And that is the difference that shows up on film every single time. Not in highlights, but in missed assignments, correct alignments, and whether a coach feels comfortable putting you on the field, especially in critical moments when things could go wrong. Now, you're probably thinking, what is this guy even talking about? Trust. Look, this is what coaches actually mean when I talk about trust. Most players misunderstand it, and I completely understand. They think trust means being loud, being a leader, or just dabbing up the coaches more. Listen, bro, eye contact and dabbing them up is not getting you extra reps. Only thing you're maybe getting is some extra brownie points. Trust is simple. It means you line up right without being reminded. When the defense shifts late, you don't freeze, you don't overthink it. And lastly, trust means you run the play that's called, not the one you wish was called. I know, being a former receiver, we want to be like, all right, this guy right here is giving me outside leverage. Let me just run a slant. It's not how it works, man. You got to run the plays that are called. Coaches trust players who make the game predictable. Yeah, that might sound boring, but predictability is exactly what coaches want. If a coach knows where you'll be, how you'll play leverage, and how you'll respond under pressure, that's a compliment. And it's a testament to your strengths. Flashy players create highlights. Trusted players create peace of mind. And on Friday nights, peace of mind wins depth chart battles. You could be as flashy as you want, but if you're flashy and making mistakes consistently, they're going to play the player that is trusted more. The next thing that really builds coaches' trust is football IQ. And it's what makes the game slow down. It's not about memorizing the entire playbook or sounding smart in meetings. You don't get extra reps for sounding smart in meetings. Trust me. I've been there. But for real, it's about understanding the game in layers. Starters see the whole picture. Backups only see the ball. Starters recognize formations quicker and their tendencies. They know down and distance, and they know when the opponent is showing something just to bait you. And that's why the game looks slower for certain players. They've already processed what's coming before the ball is snapped. When something unexpected happens, they don't panic, they adjust. And calm shows up on film. Coaches spot it instantly. One player looks rushed, another one looks composed. One reacts late, another one arrives on time. That difference is football IQ in action. This is one my young athletes might not like, but it's the truth. Film, it tells the coaches everything about you. And most players, they watch film the wrong way, only paying attention when the ball comes their way, especially my wide receivers. I know I used to be like, if the ball doesn't come to me, I played perfectly.
No.
Coaches don't think that way, nor do they believe that. They watch everything, how you line up, your split, your stance, your eyes before the snap, your first couple steps. They notice if you're guessing, they notice if you're drifting, and they definitely notice if you're consistently in the right place. Here's the key thing to understand. You don't need stats to look good on film. Discipline shows up no matter where you are. Film exposes bad habits and the good habits. And trust me, those habits decide your playing time. If they show focus, consistency, and awareness, the coaches will trust you. If your habits show confusion or inconsistency, that shows up just as clearly. The most noticeable habits are before the ball is even snapped. Starters are already working. They're scanning the defense, they're noticing leverage, they're looking at safety depth, and they're counting the numbers in the box. Sometimes it's very subtle, just a glance, a point, a word, but it matters. And it really matters. Meanwhile, the backups are just waiting for the snap like it's a race. And that is the difference. Football is not a track meet. It's a decision-making game. The best players solve problems before they even happen. Coaches love players like that, the ones who prevent mistakes instead of reacting to them. If you help avoid busting coverage or missed assignments or any confusion, you instantly become more valuable to the coaches, even if you're not the fastest or the most athletic guy on the team.
Oh my God! Wow!
One thing players underestimate is how little differences compound fastly. You don't need a year to improve your football IQ. You can change how coaches see you in just weeks. Start watching film with intention. Pause the film, rewind it. Ask yourself why a play worked or didn't work. Or what was the defense trying to take away? Learn your position rules, not just your assignments or your routes. Understand what you're supposed to do different versus different looks. And look, when you talk to coaches, you need to be asking better questions. Not just, hey coach, did I do good? Nah, that's not going to cut at this level. Because if the coach hits you with the, yeah, we'll talk later, sorry to break it to you, man, but that rep was absolute.
Try it! Try it!
Instead of asking that, you should be asking, hey coach, what should I clean up? How can I be better than this? What can I improve on? Coaches love players who do that because they do those things and they stand out so fast because they're rare. Honestly, players like that are rare. Coaches don't just notice effort. They notice effort paired with thinking. And look, that's where the mindset difference really begins to show. And this part matters more than most people realize. Backups wait to be noticed. Starters don't say, that's not my job. Starters, they assume responsibility, while the backups, they just focus on what they didn't get. Starters focus on what they could control. And that mindset shows up in meetings, practice, in the gym, and in film. Coaches, they can feel the difference. When you prepare like a starter, mentally, physically, and emotionally, you usually become the one. And by the one, I mean the star. You're him. Playing time doesn't come first. Behavior does. And the depth chart usually reflects that sooner or later. Look, what I want you to do this week is going to change your status. Watch one full game of film without skipping.
2 hours later.
Next. I don't even want to see that. I'm not even in on this play, bruh. But that mattered to me. Basically, do the complete opposite of what I just did. But for real, man, don't watch your highlights. Focus on your alignment, your leverage, and your decision making in your previous games or in your previous practices. Write down 3 things you didn't notice before, whether that was pre-snap looks, post-snap looks, you not communicating or you communicating more. And when it comes to the off-season training, be early and be consistent, because none of this requires elite talent. But what it does require is willingness to be attentive, and attention earns trust. If you do these things consistently, coaches will notice. Even if they don't say it immediately, that will genuinely change the trajectory of your depth chart, going from bench to starter. If this helped you understand the game on a deeper level and how coaches really think, that's the mission here. We're here to help young athletes, parents, fans, anybody who wants to grow their football IQ. And if you really want to learn, check out the last video on how you can learn from the Eagles' mistakes. God first, God bless. See you in the next one.